Hi guys, I'm putting together this little video to help you with putting together your Keystone Degree. So the Keystone Degree, to do it, you have to be in AET, so make sure that you go to w.theaet.com. When you get there, click Login. When you click Login, you're always going to be logging in under the student login. Chapter will always be PA0134. Username, I'm just going to use a juniors here. We're going to do Will's. It's going to be capital W, capital O for his last name. And just the rest of his last name as well. That should be for everybody. Now, some of you might have a little bit of a different one. If you can't get logged in, just let me know. Click Login. When you click Login, this will be the screen that comes up. To see what you have in your experience tracker, what you have in the AET, you'll click the little box over here. So this is his projects that he has so far. He has this 2019 projects that he showed in 2018, 2017 project animals that he showed for the youth fair. If you don't have anything in here, you're going to have to go back and put some things in. You're going to be clicking Add New. When you click Add New, you put your project name. So if it's your market animals, you'll put the year of your market animals. If it is a job, I'd put the location of your job, wherever you're working, and so on and so forth. They'll all be individual. If it is a job, it would be paid placement. Hopefully it's paid placement. It may be unpaid placement. If it's unpaid placement, that's fine as well. And if it's more or less your market animals, it will be business or entrepreneurship. So you have your journal entries and your finance entries. Then you'll click as you're going down through here, this will change your category, which will be animals or the breed of animals, that sort of thing will go through there. And then you'll click Save. So we're going to go back to this first page here. So he has, hopefully you have the ones in that you need. And then what you need to do, the first thing, the planning pages. These, you see how this is green? These all have to be green. The selection committee will not look at yours unless it is green. So what you're doing, the planning pages is the pages that is what you write down before you do your project. So most of you have already done your project. So this is what you're going to go back in and kind of say, when you plan. So let's click on this one, your planning pages. So it gives you an outline how you can start it, or you can just start. So you do a description of it. This is, like I said, before. Most of your projects are already done, but you have to go back in and think of before. How much time is going to be invested into it. Make sure that you save it each time that you do it. Your financial investment, how much do you think this is going to cost? And then picking out your learning objectives, what you plan on, and just click your skill areas there that you're going to have. So planning pages need to be done. So that's before you do the project. Then after you do the project, you have to do the clipboards. The clipboards have to be done, and when you click on the clipboards, so for his would be his market turkeys, how many he had. He had 2 of them, and then a description. So they want to know what you learned from it. It has to be in sentence format. They want to know what you learned from it, what skills you might have got, and what the outcome. So how you placed in your class, or maybe how much money you raised, how much, how much profit you got, and those sort of things. If it is a job, what type of skill things did you learn working on this job? So just make sure that you are getting the pencil and the clipboard completed out. Your journal and finance, your finances and journal entries, make sure that you have them, have them in there. I would think 8 would be fine for each, but you should have all your finances in there. If you're adding any, I find it easy just to go up, click the journal tab, and put time in your projects. When you're doing time in your projects, do not just keep them on the same year. you have to have 2 years of records. So when you have 2 years of records, if you put them all in for today's date, it's only going to show that you have 1 year. So it's going to say, no, you cannot get your Keystone. So you have to go back and backdate. Make sure you're clicking on the correct project one that you want to put that journal entry in. Put the time in there, pictures, and make sure you hit save. So make sure that you are doing that. For your finances, most of them will be cash entries. Some of them will be for your paycheck. When you're doing your cash entries, income, this would be if you sold your animal, who purchased it. Again, choose the correct project that you want it to be, and what type it was cash, income, how much. And then I'd write a little memo here just so that if there is any questions that the selection committee have, you at least have as much information in here as possible for them to go back. And make sure you hit save and return. When you are doing your finances, you can also do your paycheck. So when you click your paycheck, this is how much. Again, change the dates for paydays, how much you got, taxes, withholdings, any type of expenses that you had with it, and then your paycheck hours. So make sure you get that in there as well. Save and then enter another one. If you try to enter several of them, it will actually split your money, and it will actually it's don't do that. Just enter one at a time. Your journal entries is also where you're going to do your community service, and you're also going to put your FFA activities in there that you need. So make sure that you put them in. Community service has to be in complete sentences, and you have to select a group that it's served, but it cannot be the Juniata FFA. It has to be a group. So you can't just say elderly neighbor. If you did it with a group, such as Helping Hands or something like that, then that is fine. But you can't just put, elderly neighbor. It has to be some sort of group that it was benefiting. Church groups are fine. Fire hall companies are great. So you have to be very careful, because if it does not like the group you served, it will not count it. And we've had issues with that in the past. There has been a lot of questions with your community service. So you need 25 hours of community service for 2 different activities. And so keep that in mind. But it also has to be during the time that you put your records in. So if you're going to put in that you did community service your freshman and sophomore year, but you're only counting your records from your sophomore and junior year, that freshman year, it will not count because you do not have records in there. So you have to be very careful of how you're going in here and you're putting in things, because it definitely will not just say, oh, okay, you got it. It is a very picky application process. So you got your finances, you got your journals, you got those things put in there. You can always review all your journal entries. Same with your finances. If you click that, you can always review all of them. Then what you want to do is reports. When you click reports, I'm going to delete this one because I was messing around with it here. You want to add a new report, and yours would be your Keystone Degree. You can go in and do this right now and see where you're at with getting it. Keep in mind, again, Will is just a junior, so not everything will be in here. We'll click Add New. Click on his application. So this is his application. So now if he had everything in his records and everything was correct and he had everything, he's done. But you have to always check the checklist. And most likely none of you are going to have this all met. If it is, great and wonderful. You put everything in that you're supposed to. If it is not, you have to go back and you have to look. So yes, go in and put your community service. Oh, I don't have my activities in there yet. It's not met. Maybe I missed something. And the nice thing that you can click on it and you can actually click review in AET and it'll take you back so you can actually look as to what you're missing. So I want to look at his checklist here. So he's been an active member for at least 24 months, that sort of thing. So when you do that, you can actually just kind of go to this cover page and review your award information. So you'll have to go in through and fill this in. This will start getting you those greens saying that you met. So you have to go in and you'll have to start putting these information in, and then make sure again that you're hitting the save button at the bottom and that it is on there correctly. So, those are just some of the things, going back through and putting things in for your AET. Again, if you have everything in right here, this will be done. Even if this is reading met, there has been people that have been disqualified because there has been something like for your activities. You might have put the same activity in there twice. Guess what? That does not count. You did not meet the requirements. So make sure that you're going in there and that you are looking at things and making sure everything is taken care of. If you have any questions with filling out anything, feel free to give me shoot me an email. I may not get back to you within a day. It may be 1 or 2 days, but you really have to get it done. I have to get them printed off. I have to get another ag teacher from a different school to sign off and review your applications. And then I have to actually send the applications to the selection committee where they will meet in October, go through all of them and determine if you got it or not. So I hope that you take the time to fill it out. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. Good luck.